face this way. You guys on the side, scoot back, please. All right. Hey, yesterday, here's what you guys did. Yesterday, Coach Jordan taught you guys the head inside single, low positions. We did a head inside single, chase angle. We did a head inside single, cut back. Okay? We're going to review those this morning. All right? Both those techniques occur when our partner does what? What does he do? Sprawl. Good. Our partner sprawls. Okay? We're going to hit a shot. The partner sprawls. We're still going to continue to move, maintain position, and score. All right? Very important. Probably the most important technique you guys are going to learn the weekend is the head inside chase angle. That's our #1 takedown at Graham High School, okay? We use that more than anything else. Tanner, let me use you. Now, scoot back. I need space this way, guys. You guys on the side, scoot back. I need about 5 scoops this way. I need some space. Before I even give it a shot, I know Coach talked about the setup, did he not? Did Coach talk about setups? Yes. Inside tie collar time. Inside tie collar time. My setup, I'm doing 2 things. I'm going to change level and direction. This is a direction change. This is a level change. My goal on my setup is to do 2 things. I have to achieve 2 things. 1, I got to get Tanner out of position, out of his stance. 2, I got to put myself in position to attack. If I only, on my setup, get him out of his stance, or I only put myself in position to attack, I'm not going to beat the stud. I can do both things. Get him out of his stance while putting myself in position to attack. I'm going to get him out of his stance by putting weight, by putting pressure on my opponent. That weight, that pressure that I put on him makes him compromise his position. I'm going to put weight and pressure on Tanner. What Tanner's going to do is he's going to resist me. He's going to raise up. When he raises up, I'm going underneath. Okay? I got to get him out of his stance. That's one of the hardest things to do in wrestling. All right? Is actually to get this guy out of position. And we're going to do that by putting weight on our opponent by changing level direction. I put weight on him, not with my hands. Not with my hands. You guys all think it's with your hands. It's with my body. If I put weight on with my hands, if I pull as tight as I can, as hard as I can, with just my hands, this is about as much pressure I can put on him. However, I put weight on with my body. I put weight on with my body by changing my level. Watch. I change level. When I change level with Tanner and I pull him down, I put a lot of weight on him. I put a lot of pressure on him. That weight, that pressure gets him tired. He gets tired, he comes out of his stance. He comes out of his stance, there's my shot. In addition to putting weight on him, I'm going to make him move. I make him move by changing my direction. So I'm going to change level, I'm going to change direction. I circle, change level direction. Notice I put weight, I put pressure on Tanner. Now, when I release his head comes up. My opponent has 3 lines of defense. I want you to understand how we beat our opponent, not just go out there and do it. My opponent's 3 lines of defense are this: his head, his hands, and his hips. I'm going to beat his first line of defense, his head, by being lower. Watch. Inside tie, collar tie, circle, change level direction. As I release his head comes up. My head is lower than his head. Notice, when his head came up, I'm in position already to attack his leg. My hands are inside his hands. I'm going to beat his hands by being inside. So I beat his head by being lower. I beat his hands by being inside. I have to get my head lower than my opponent. Here's how most of you guys set the guy up. I watched your warm-up, and this is why I'm saying this. This is how you look at your setup. You look like this. Here, look where my head is. In order for me to take down my opponent, to go underneath him, to get his leg, my head will have to be here. So it makes no sense on my setup to look like this, with my head in this position. Okay? You're starting in a place where you already have to change your level. I'm going to be here. My head's in the pocket, so that when I change level, I'm nice and close to his leg. I'm ready to penetrate and attack. All right? This is all just a review of the setup component of our wrestling. Inside tie, collar tie, circle, change the direction. Now notice, I release Tanner's head, his head comes up, I penetrate. Now, I'm going to penetrate. My arm wraps, elbow what? Deep. Elbow deep, good. Elbow deep, you guys remember that. Now, my opponent's going to sprawl. When he sprawls, I wrap elbow deep, I pull in and down, I'm going to get my elbow mat. He sprawls, I pull in and down, now look, my elbow goes to the mat. But I'm going to quiz you guys, let's see how smart you are. What does my elbow do? My elbow's on the mat, does anyone know? Yes. It's a what? It's a post. What does that post do? What does it do? Yeah, in the back. Exactly. My elbow prevents him from squaring up and sprawling. What this elbow does is it locks this leg in place. If my elbow isn't on the mat, this guy has the ability to square up, to face me, to stay on top of me, to keep me underneath his hips. Did Coach show defense yesterday? Yeah. All right, you know the power of defense. you know what he can do with his hips. We're trying to prevent that from happening by keeping this leg locked in this position. We do that by getting our right elbow to the mat. I saw a lot of you guys out there trying head inside single chase the ankles in your warm-up. A lot of you guys did not get your elbow to the mat. If my elbow doesn't go to the mat, now it's about speed. If you're trying to go around him faster than he can square up and face you. We don't want to win on speed. We don't want to win on athletic ability. Because as soon as I wrestle a guy that's faster and stronger than me, I'm going to lose. I want to win on control and position. My elbow goes to the mat. My right hip goes lower than my left. My right hip going lower than my left, keeps spinning my elbow. I'm going to run around behind. My right leg steps over. Notice my right knee steps over his leg. Now this right knee acts the same way my elbow did. It keeps this leg locked in place. I switch now across to his far knee, and I drive him forward. The biggest mistake you guys make on the chase ankle, I'm going to tell you right now, here's the whole key for me, especially at your age group, is the setup. If I'm not close enough to my opponent, here's what happens. Most of you guys drill, you look like this in your drilling phase. You're this far away. You're extended. So when you take this shot, your hand goes here. You're not elbow deep. Now, he sprawls, and you look like this right here. You're trying to run behind from this position. Sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. Much different than being here, in this position, where my elbow's on the mat. That starts with my setup. I want you guys to be close. I want you to be right here, so when you change levels, your arm can wrap elbow deep. We pulling it down. You have to be close to the guy. You can't be afraid to contact this guy and be close. It's not pushing him away. It's pulling him out of his stance. One more time, we'll go out there and hit it. Inside tie, elbow bind. I circle, change left direction. Head comes up, head inside single. Notice, right hip lower my left. Right elbow to the mat. I'm running around behind, step over leg, finish behind the butt. Partner, do me a favor. If you're a robot out there, you're standing straight up and down, he can't do the move, he doesn't need you to move. If you're a limp jellyfish and you fall down too early, he can't do it, he doesn't need to do it. I want you to do this. When he hits the head inside single, I want you to go to here. Two knees and a hand. This is how I want you to end up. Watch his hand underneath. Head inside single, look right up. Two knees and a hand. This position. Now we can hit the technique effectively. In the right position, step over, finish behind the butt. Get that elbow to the mat. Get that right arm elbow deep. Head inside single. Chase in. Let's see. 1, 2, 3.